As a student, as a researcher, there are three things you have to master, what I call the study loop. Read, process, write. If you master those three things, your life is done as a researcher. Hello everyone, I am Pedro. I'm a PhD student living in Japan. Let's talk about the study loop. Maybe you're a student, maybe you're a researcher. The study loop is made of these three things. You gotta read, you gotta process, you gotta write. Let me give you an example. Computer science student. What is the reading part? I have to read papers. Papers are scientific articles. If you don't know, is how we call them. For the intimate, we call it papers. I have to read code. I have to read a lot of code to understand how it works. I have to read documentation. Understand the part of reading as consumption. It could be a YouTube video as well. It could be a course, but it's about this idea of input, okay? It's entering the pipeline, and then you have to process. The part of processing is actually the essence of studying, right? It's taking notes, organizing those notes even, I would say. It's building my second brain, building my Zettelkasten. It's also reflecting. It's what happens in your mind. It's actually as important as what happened on the paper, if not even more. And then you have write. And what is write for? Write is the output to the world, okay? It's sharing with your supervisor, sharing with other members of your lab, sharing with the world, sharing what could be papers, could be reports. I could also be talking about exams. The part of writing is more about what is it that you build. It's the output. So reading is what is already in the world. Processing is what you get in your head or in your, let's say, second brain. And writing is what you put out to the world, even for your own experiments. And this is a loop, because writing, if you have the result of an experiment, you process it back. After writing a paper, you restart this, you go back to reading more. So that's why it's a loop. It's always going around here, and that's how knowledge is produced for you and for the world. To accomplish this study loop effectively, you're gonna have to develop a method of focus, a method that will allow you to do one step of this loop every day and be very mindful, very clear about this. Okay, so today is a reading day, today is a processing day, today is a writing day. Sometimes during the research, you're going to be reading more, it's normal. Sometimes you're going to be processing more, and sometimes you're going to be writing more. Some tips that I can give is that when you take notes, this is something that I am changing my perspective recently, but when you take notes, like the first notes, the draft notes, do them on paper. If you're on a class, or maybe you are even doing some exercise, the most raw part of the processing, try to do it on paper. Might not be very good advice sometimes, because you're gonna have to read hundreds of papers or books or whatever, and you're gonna have to take notes in pen and paper. It's simply that paper is distraction free. Whenever you are studying, you want to have a distraction free environment. And paper is the simplest way to accomplish that. If you're doing notes on your phone, unless you're a very organized person with your notifications, you might not be able to focus. That is the main point. If you are, then fine. One other tip that I have actually is, if you don't want to carry a lot of weight on books and things, get a Kindle. I got this one used. It is very good for reading whenever you want. And this was very cheap. I got this used for less than $30. It's very lightweight. It doesn't strain your eyes. And best of all, it's very distraction free. There are no notifications in this thing. It's only for reading. And I will leave a link down in the description if you want to get one. However, paper has some problems. And one of the main problems is that paper is not durable. Back in the day when I was undergrad, I had one notebook for every class, and I used them a lot during the classes, but nowadays I don't know where they are. They got lost. All that knowledge, in a way, it is in my head, but the details, they are lost. And so the second thing to make you actually more productive is having a digital note. A digital notebook is the final step of the processing part, where after getting your notes, you just put them in Apple Notes, Obsidian, Notion. It's just somewhere that you don't lose it, because digital is more durable. That's actually the main advantage. If you make a note right now, you start your digital notebook today, it's probably gonna last until you die, you know? It's kind of forever. The small notebooks I had for my physics class 7 years ago, I don't know where they are anymore. They're buying gone. And although I remember some kind of the information, I don't have any way of restoring it to confirm or to double check. So this is one of my main recommendations actually. Have a digital note. And that is the study loop. Read, process, and write, and do it all with focus. Catch you guys in the next one.